Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to highlight some of the Steam Autumn Sale game deals under the price of $2. Yeah, if you don't have a lot of money to spend, the Autumn Sale still got you covered, because there's an insane amount of games that are under $2. There's a lot that I'm gonna go over in this video. We'll get right through it, and yeah, as always with these Steam sales, there's so many games on sale that this is still barely scratching the surface. There's just so much stuff that's super cheap that you really have an endless amount of games, and I would say high-quality games at that are still heavily discounted. So, with that being said, let's get right into it, and let's start things off with Castle Crashers, which is 90% off for $1.49. I mean, this is an all-time classic as far as a smaller scale downloadable title. Like back then when games were coming out on Xbox and whatnot, the downloadable games were still trying to kind of find their place, and Castle Crashers, I feel like, was one of those games that really showcased how good downloadable titles could be, and it was a great arcade action beat-em-up title that if you play co-op, it's just endless fun and so replayable, and a game that I find myself every couple of years going back to and getting a group of friends and playing through it together. I mean, there's a reason it's got 91,000 reviews, 96% positive. It's terrific, and for $1.49, a great deal. Next up, I want to give a shout out to both SteamWorld Dig 1 and 2. Now, SteamWorld Dig 1 is 91% off for 89 cents, which is just an insane deal. SteamWorld Dig 2 is without a doubt the better game. It is 90% off for $1.99. SteamWorld Dig 2 is a great Metroidvania, great art style, and fairly good gameplay as well. SteamWorld Dig 1 is still a decent playthrough, and for 89 cents, I mean, you can't go wrong with that either. So a good shout there as well. Gotta give a mention to Super Hexagon. It's 50% off for $1.49, so yes, the typical price is $2.99, so it's not like it's super expensive, but $1.49 for Super Hexagon is really good. I do want to say this game's been down to like 70 cents or something like that back in the day, but for $1.49, I still think this is a good buy. A very addictive, fast-paced game, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's one of those games that you can play for, 5 to 10 minutes, or you can jump in and really get addicted to it and play it for a while. Good soundtrack here as well, and for $1.49, a good buy there. Next up, we got Just Cause 2, $1.49 on this. I usually recommend Just Cause 3 when we talk about Just Cause. That's the game that I feel like, is relatively still holding up from a technical and visual standpoint, but Just Cause 2 is still an enjoyable, over-the-top open-world action title. It's a little bit dated at this point, being damn near 15 years old, but for $1.49, still a worthwhile playthrough, and again, if you're okay with some dated visuals, you're still gonna have a good time with that. Next up, couple Prince of Persia titles. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time is 80% off for $1.99, which I think is a pretty decent pickup. Unfortunately, I don't know if the ground-up remake for Sands of Time is ever gonna come out, but Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time is legitimately one of the best received Prince of Persia games of all time, and really one of the best received Ubisoft games of all time. It's got an 89 on Metacritic, which is a really solid score, and just generally speaking, I feel like most people view this as the best game in the series. Unfortunately, it being a Ubisoft game, of course, you do have to go through Ubisoft Connect, which is a bummer, but what can you do? And then Prince of Persia 2008 is $1.99 as well. I think this game is super underrated. I really enjoyed it. I think the art style is fantastic, and it's got this watercolor look that is just aged incredibly gracefully. The issue with this game really was the fact that it was fairly easy. Like, this game is a breeze to go through, but I thought the platforming was well done, the parkour, the gameplay, all that was fairly enjoyable, and again, a great art style to boot, so definitely worthwhile to check that out for $1.99, a good pickup there. Portal 2 is $1.99. Now, I am not a fan of puzzle games whatsoever, but Portal, from a design standpoint, is so freaking well done that I feel like it's gonna be one of those games that's just an exception for everyone like me that doesn't enjoy puzzle games, but Portal is just so meticulously well designed that you have to enjoy it. From the sound design, the dialogue, all of those elements in Portal just make it so engaging, and it's such a well done game. For $1.99, it's a must-own title. I feel like most of you guys at this point own it, but if you don't, for $1.99, again, that is terrific. So definitely check that out. Next up, we got Hotline Miami. The first one is 80% off for $1.99. Hotline Miami is a great throwback action title, a very retro-esque look. Solid soundtrack, and yes, a lot of blood and guts involved, but it's pixel blood and guts, so, it's nothing too crazy as far as that's concerned. But over-the-top action mayhem, And Hotline Miami is one of those classics that I feel like anybody can jump into and have a pretty good time with. So for this price point, pretty damn good. Definitely check that out. Next up, we got Hitman Absolution, 90% off for $1.99. Hitman, definitely a franchise that has gained some traction over the last few years, especially with World of Assassination. But Hitman Absolution came out all the way back in 2012, and I feel like didn't get that much attention, but it was a really, really well done action stealth title. I played it right when it came out and just remember having a really good time with that. I thought visually it was quite good. Obviously, 12 years later, not gonna look quite as good, but still an okay looking game. And if you want an action style title, Hitman Absolution isn't super lengthy, but gonna be quite enjoyable the whole way through, and for $1.99, a good deal there. The Walking Dead Season 1 for $1.49. This is a terrific deal, and I thought Walking Dead peaked with Season 1. I thought Season 2 was really good as well. Season 3 and Season 4 were good, not great, especially at the level of Season 1. Like, Season 1 is just an emotional roller coaster ride, and is just so well done. And for this price point, $1.49, even if you're not super into narrative-driven titles, this is one that I feel like you have to give an exception to and just try it out. It is a point-and-click, narrative-driven game. That's what the Telltale games are, but it's really, really well done, and I think for this price, it's a great pickup. Witcher 1 is $1.49. Witcher 1 is a game that, to a lot of people, is absolutely beloved. I personally think the issue with Witcher 1 is the fact that this game absolutely shows its age. It's from 2007, and there's just a bevy of games from 2007 that just show their age really badly. The Witcher 1, Uncharted 1, Mass Effect 1, some games that are incredibly well received, but just, Father Time has not been kind to them, and I think there's a reason why Witcher 1 is getting a ground-up remake, which I'm incredibly excited for. But if you played Witcher 3, maybe you circled back and you played Witcher 2 as well, and you have yet to check out Witcher 1, if you have the affinity built towards Witcher as a franchise, I think you're still going to end up enjoying Witcher 1. Just keep in mind, this game does not have controller support, so you have to play it with keyboard and mouse, but every time I talk about Witcher 1 and I give my opinions on it, there's a lot of people that come out and say, hey man, you're too critical on Witcher 1. It's still a fantastic game. And especially if you played the game back in 2007, you're definitely going to have the nostalgic attachment towards it as well. I just think if you're a newcomer trying to get into Witcher and you start with Witcher 1, it's going to be a little bit difficult from that end, but you know what? Your mileage may vary as far as that's concerned. For $1.49, why not? Just try it out. Next up, we have Mad Max, which is down to $1.99. A really solid open-world action-adventure game with a vehicular combat emphasis as well. More of an action title than an adventure game. But, yeah, Mad Max was well done. Unfortunately, we'll never get a sequel for this game. But I thought, from a gameplay standpoint, it was very enjoyable. Visuals were solid, and the performance in this game was great. So definitely a decent pickup for $1.99. Left 4 Dead 2, 80% off for $1.99. I mean, this is an all-time classic. If you're talking about co-op games in general, like Left 4 Dead 2 is one of those games that's so easy to constantly go back to, and if you have a group of friends to play with, it is terrific. Obviously has a lot of mod support as well, so if you want to, extend the experience, you very much can do that as well, and a terrific game, definitely check that out. Alice Madness Returns, this is a sleeper, 90% off for 99 cents. A dark fantasy action title, some platforming in here as well. I played this game when it came out, like way back in the day. I just remember being pretty engaged with it in terms of the setting and the premise of it. For 99 cents, I feel like this is a pretty good buy and definitely the lowest price this game has been. And then lastly, we have Metro 2033 Redux, 90% off for $1.99 as well. I rave about Metro all the time. It is a great atmospheric first-person shooter, engrossing from a setting and atmosphere standpoint, and the gameplay is solid as far as FPSs go, so definitely check that out as well if you have yet to play Metro. But that's going to do it for me. Again, all of these deals under the price of $2. Links to everything in the description box below. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.